রিয়া ঐক্য আর না করিহ মনে আশা আর না করিহ মনে আশা শ্রীগুরু চরণে গতি এই সেই উত্তম গতি যে প্রসাদে পুরে সর্ব আশা যে প্রসাদে পুরে সর্ব আশা চক্ষু দান দিল যে জন্মে জন্মে প্রভু সে দিব্য জ্ঞাধিদে প্রকাশিত দিব্য জ্ঞাধিদে প্রকাশিত প্রেম ভক্তি যাহা হইতে অবিদ্যা বিনাশ যাইতে প্রেম ভক্তি অবিদ্যা বিনাশ যাইতে প্রেম ভক্তি যাহা হইতে অবিদ্যা নাশ যাইতে প্রেম ভক্তি অবিদ্যা বিনাশ যাইতে বিরজায় যাহার চরিত যে গায় যাহার চরিত যাহার চরিত করুণা সিন্ধু অধম জনার বন্ধু গুরু করুণা সিন্ধু অধম জনার বন্ধু লোকনাথ লোকের জীবন লোকনাথ লোকের জীবন প্রভু করো দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া লাহা প্রভু কর দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া এই দেহ এবে যায় বুঝুতি ভুবন প্রভুপাদ পতিত পাবন জয় প্রভুপদ জয় প্রভুপদ প্রভুপদ জয় প্রভুপদ জয় 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 প্রভুপদ 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 জয় শ্রী প্রভুপদ কি নমো বিষ্ণুপদায় কৃষ্ণপৃষ্ঠায় ভূতলে শ্রীমতে ভক্তি বেদান্ত স্বামী ইতি নামিনে नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे पाश्चात्य देश जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरि हरि गौरा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद गौर भक्त जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय गो भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya 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 Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Anantapati Vaishnava, Harivilas Prabhu, parents of the Chaitanya Prabhu, Radha Shivasana Gaura, Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Samukula Radha Giri Guru Dhamani, Jai Gaura Purnima, all glory to the Son, all glory to the Son, all glory to the Son of Guru, all glory to Sri Guru, Sri Guru, all glory to the Son. The only way by which we can attain the true devotion without devotion. I have created this frustration for suffering and pain in my sisters. I only wish to have my consciousness purified by the word meditating on His words. Attachment to the lotus feet is the perfection and fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From Him, ecstatic prema emanates. By Him, ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of His character. Our spiritual masters, the ocean of mercy, in front of the poor and Lord and Master of devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread throughout all the three worlds. We take shelter of your lotus feet. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. O Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Ura Hari Bol, Nita Gaura Hari Bol. Nita Gaura Premanandi ki jai. So I'm going to read parts of the last chapter, the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's called the Six Astika Prayers in Adi Lila, chapter 20. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutali Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharane Devasesa Sunyavani Paskati Rajatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed his nights tasting the meaning of the 6 Astika prayers in the company of Swarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Raya. Sometimes he recited verses from Jayadev Goswami's Gita Govinda, from Srimad Bhagavatam, from Sri Ramananda Raya's Jagannatha Vallabha Nataka, and from Sri Bilvamangala Thakura's Krishna Karnamrita. In this way, he became absorbed in ecstatic emotions. For the 12 years Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived at Jagannath Puri, he relished the taste of reciting such transcendental verses. Altogether, the Lord was present in this mortal world for 48 years. After hinting about the Lord's disappearance, the author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita gives a short description of the entire Antya Lila and then ends his book. Only the most fortunate will relish the mad words of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which were mixed with jubilation, envy, agitation, submissiveness, and grief, all produced by ecstatic, loving emotions. All glories to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Chandra, and all glories to all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thus resided at Jagannath Puri, Nilachala, he was continuously overwhelmed night and day by separation from Krishna. Day and night he tasted transcendental blissful songs and verses with 2 associates, namely Swarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Rai. He relished the symptoms of various transcendental emotions such as jubilation, lamentation, anger, humility, anxiety, grief, eagerness, and satisfaction. He would recite his own verses. He would recite his own verses, expressing their meanings and emotions, and thus enjoyed tasting them with these 2 friends. Sometimes the Lord would be absorbed in a particular emotion and would stay awake all night reciting related verses and relishing their taste. In great jubilation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "My dear Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Roy, know from me that chanting the holy names is the most feasible means of salvation in the age of Kali. In the age of Kali, the process of worshipping Krishna is to perform sacrifice by chanting the holy name of the Lord. One who does so is certainly very intelligent, and he attains shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna." Purport. For further information, one may refer to Adi Lila, chapter 3, text 77 and 78. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. This verse is spoken by Saint Karabhajana in the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32. For further information, see Adi Lila, chapter 3, text 52. Simply by chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna, one can be freed from all undesirable habits. This is the means of awakening all good fortune and initiating the flow of waves of love for Krishna. Let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna, which can cleanse the mirror of the heart and stop the miseries of the blazing fire of material existence. That chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living entities. It is the life and soul of all education. The chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. It gives a cooling effect to everyone and enables one to taste full nectar at every step. By performing congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can destroy the sinful conditions of material existence, purify the unclean heart, and awaken all varieties of devotional service. The result of chanting is that one awakens his love for Krishna and tastes transcendental bliss. Ultimately, one attains the association of Krishna and engages in his devotional service as if immersing himself in a great ocean of love. Lamentation and humility awoke within Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he began reciting another of his own verses. By hearing the meaning of that verse, one can forget all unhappiness and lamentation. Nam namakari bahudanija sarva saktis tatra pita nimaitak smarani nakala etadrisi tavakripa bhagavan mamapi durdaivam drisi samihajani nanuraga. My Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, in your holy name there is all good fortune for the living entity, and therefore you have many names, such as Krishna and Govinda, by which you expand yourself. You invested all your potencies in those names, and there is no hard and fast rules for remembering them. My dear Lord, although you bestow such mercy upon the fallen, conditioned souls by liberally teaching your holy names, I am so unfortunate that I commit offenses while chanting the holy name, and therefore I do not achieve attachment for chanting. Because people vary in their desires, you have distributed various holy names by your mercy. Regardless of time or place, one who chants the holy name, even while eating or sleeping, attains all perfection. You have invested your full potencies in each individual holy name, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attachment for chanting your holy names. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, O Swarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Raya, hear from me the symptoms of how one should chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra to awaken very easily one's dormant love for Krishna. Trinadapi sunichena tarurapi sahistana amanina manadena kirtayaniya sadahari. One who thinks himself lower than the grass, who is more tolerant than a tree, and who does not expect personal honor, but is always prepared to give all respect to others, can very easily always chant the holy name of the Lord. These are the symptoms of one who chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Although he is very exalted, he thinks himself lower than the grass on the ground, and like a tree, he tolerates everything in two ways. When a tree is cut down, it does not protest, and even when drying up, it does not ask anyone for water. The tree delivers its fruits, flowers, and whatever else it possesses to anyone and everyone. It tolerates scorching heat and torrents of rain, yet it still gives shelter to others. Although a Vaishnava is the most exalted person, he is prideless and gives all respect to others, knowing everyone to be the resting place of Krishna. If one chants the holy name of Lord Krishna in this matter, he will certainly awaken his dormant love for Krishna's lotus feet. As Lord Chaitanya spoke in this way, his humility increased, and he began praying to Krishna that he could discharge pure devotional service. Wherever there is a relationship of love of Godhead, its natural symptoms is that the devotee does not think himself a devotee. Instead, he always thinks that he has not even a drop of love for Krishna. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura comments that persons who are actually very poor because they possess not even a drop of love of Godhead or pure devotional service falsely advertise themselves as great devotees, although they cannot at any time relish the transcendental bliss of devotional service. A class of so-called devotees known as Prakrita Sahajas sometimes display devotional symptoms to exhibit their good fortune. They are pretending, however, because these devotional features are only external. The Prakrita Sahajas exhibit these symptoms to advertise their so-called advancement in love of Krishna. But instead of praising the Prakriti Sahajas for their symptoms of transcendental ecstasy, pure devotees do not like to associate with them. It is not advisable to equate the Prakriti Sahajas with pure devotees. When one is actually advanced in ecstatic love of Krishna, he does not try to advertise himself. Instead, he endeavors more and more to render service to the Lord. The Prakriti Sahajas sometimes criticize pure devotees by calling them philosophers, learned scholars, knowers of the truth, or minute observers, but not devotees. On the other hand, they depict themselves as the most advanced, transcendentally blissful devotees, deeply absorbed in devotional service and mad to taste the transcendental mellows. They also describe themselves as the most advanced devotees in spontaneous love, as knowers of transcendental mellows, as the topmost devotees in conjugal love of Krishna, and so on. Not actually knowing the transcendental nature of love of God, they accept their material emotions to be indicative of advancement. In this way, they pollute the process of devotional service. To try to become writers of Vaishnava literature, they introduce their material conceptions of life into pure devotional service. Because of their material conceptions, they advertise themselves as knowers of transcendental mellows, but they do not understand the transcendental nature of devotional service. Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam va jagadisya kamaye mama janmani janmanishvare bhavatad bhakti rahaituki tvayi. O Lord of the universe, I do not desire material wealth, materialistic followers, a beautiful wife, or fruit of activities described in flowery language. All I want, life after life, is unmotivated devotional service to you. My dear Lord Krishna, I do not want material wealth from you, nor do I want followers, a beautiful wife, or the results of fruit of activities. I only pray that by your causeless mercy you give me pure devotional service to you, life after life. In great humility, considering himself a conditioned soul of the material world, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again expressed his desire to be endowed with service to the Lord. Ayi nandatanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam buddho kripaya tava pada pankaja stita dulisadvisam vichintaya. O my Lord, O Krishna, son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servant, but because of my own fruitive activities, I have fallen into this horrible ocean of nescience. Now please be causelessly merciful to me. Consider me a particle of dust at your lotus feet. I am your eternal servant. Tomara nityada samui, toma pasariya, padiyachon bavar nave maya badahana. I am your eternal servant, but I forgot your lordship. Now I have fallen into the ocean of nescience and have been conditioned by the external energy. Kripakari kara more, padaduli sama, tomara sevaka karun, tomara sevana. Be causelessly merciful to me by giving me a place with the particles of dust at your lotus feet, so that I may engage in the service of your lordship as your eternal servant. Punak ati utkata kanta danya haila udgama krishnatani mage prema nama sankirtana. Natural humility and eagerness then awoke in Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He prayed to Krishna to be able to chant the Maha Mantra in ecstatic love. Nayanam galadas rudaya vadanam gadgadurudaya jira pulaka nisitam vapu kada tava namagrahane bhavismyati. My dear Lord, when will my eyes be beautified by filling with tears that constantly glide down as I chant your holy name? When will my voice falter and all the hairs of my body stand erect in transcendental happiness as I chant your holy name? Prema dana vina vyarta daridra jivana dasakari vetana more deha prema dana. Without love of Godhead, my life is useless. Therefore I pray that you accept me as your servant and give me the salary of ecstatic love of God. Rasanta ravese haila viyoga spurana udvega vishada danye karifalapana pralapana. Separation from Krishna awoke various mellows of distress, lamentation, and humility. Thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke like a crazy man. Yugayitam nime sena chaksusa pabrasayitam sunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. My Lord Govinda, because of separation from you, I consider even a moment a great millennium. Tears flow from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I see the entire world as void. Udvege divasana yaya shana haila yuga sama varsana mega praya asru varise nayana. In my agitation, a day never ends, for every moment seems like a millennium. Pouring incessant tears, my eyes are like clouds in the rainy season. Govinda virahe sunya haila tribhuvana tusanale podeyena nayaya jivana. The three worlds have become void because of separation from Govinda. I feel as if I were burning alive in a slow fire. Krishna udasina haila karite parikshana Saki sabakahe Krishna kara upekshana. Lord Krishna has become indifferent to me just to test my love. And my friends say, better to discard him. Iteka chintite radara nirmala hridaya swabhabika premara swabhava karila udaya. While Srimati Radharani was thinking in this way, the characteristics of natural love became manifest because of her pure heart. Irshya utkanta dainya podi vinaya eta baba ekatani karila udaya. The ecstatic symptoms of envy, great eagerness, humility, zeal, and supplication all became manifest at once. Eta bhave radhara mana astira haila saki gana age prodhi sloka ye padila. In that mood, the mind of Srimati Radharani was agitated, and therefore she spoke a verse of advanced devotion to her gopi friends. Sehi bhave Prabhu se sloka ucharite tad rupa apane haila. In the same spirit of ecstasy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited that verse, and as soon as he did so, he felt like Srimati Radharani. Aslisyava padaratam pinastumam adarsanam marmahato karotuva yata tata vavidatulam pato mat prananatas tusa eva naparaha. Let Krishna tightly embrace this maidservant who has fallen at his lotus feet, or let him trample me or break my heart by never being visible to me. He is a debauchee, after all, and can do whatever he likes, but still he alone, and no one else, is the worshipable Lord of my heart. Ami Krishna pade dase teno rasa sukkarase alingiya kare atma sata kibana deya darasana jarena moratanumana tabu teno mora prananata. I am a maidservant at the lotus feet of Krishna. He is the embodiment of transcendental happiness and mellows. If he likes, he can tightly embrace me and make me feel oneness with him, or by not giving me his audience, he may corrode my mind and body. Nevertheless, it is he who is the Lord of my life. Sakihe sunamora manera nishchaya kiba anuraga kare kiba dukadiya namare Mora Praneshwara Krishna Anyanaya. My dear friend, just hear the decision of my mind. Krishna is the Lord of my life in all conditions, whether he shows me affection or kills me by giving me unhappiness. Chadi Anyanari Gana Mora Vasutana Mana Mora Sobhagya Prakata Kariya Ta Sabari Deya Pida Amasane Karikrida Se Narigane Dekana. Sometimes Krishna gives up the company of other gopis and becomes controlled, mind and body, by me. Thus he manifests my good fortune and gives others distress by performing his loving affairs with me. Kiba tenu lampata satadrista sakata pata anyanari ganakari sata mora dite manapida mora agekare krida tabuten mora prananata. Or, since after all he is a very cunning, obstinate debauchee with a propensity to cheat, he takes to the company of other women. He then indulges in loving affairs with them in front of me to give distress to my mind. Nevertheless, he is still the Lord of my life. Moreya didiya dukkha tandra haila mahasukha se dukkha mora sukha varya. I do not mind my personal distress. I only wish for the happiness of Krishna, for his happiness is the goal of my life. However, if he feels great happiness in giving me distress, that distress is the best of my happiness. Purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura says that a devotee does not care about his own happiness and distress. He is simply interested in seeing that Krishna is happy, and for that purpose he engages in various activities. A pure devotee has no way of sensing happiness except by seeing that Krishna is happy in every respect. If Krishna becomes happy by giving him distress, such a devotee accepts that unhappiness as the greatest of all happiness. Those who are materialistic, however, who are very proud of material wealth and have no spiritual knowledge, like the Prakrita Sahajas, regard their own happiness as the aim of life. Some of them aspire to enjoy themselves by sharing the happiness of Krishna. This is the mentality of fruitive workers who want to enjoy sense gratification by making a show of service to Krishna. Ye narire vanche Krishna tara rupe satrishna tarena pana hayadukhi muhitara payapadi lana yana hatedari krida karana tanre karon sukhi. If Krishna, attracted by the beauty of some other woman, wants to enjoy with her but is unhappy because he cannot get her, I fall down at her feet, catch her hand, and bring her to Krishna to engage her for his happiness. Kanta Krishna kare rosa, Krishna paya santosa, sukha paya tadana, partha sane. Yata yogya kare mana, Krishna tate sukha pana, chademana alpa sadane. When a beloved gopi shows symptoms of anger toward Krishna, Krishna is very satisfied. Indeed, he is extremely pleased when chastised by such a gopi. He shows her pride suitably, and she shows her pride suitably, and Krishna enjoys that attitude. Then she gives up her bride with a little endeavor. Se nare jiye kene Krishna marma vyata jane tubu Krishna kare kada rasa nija sukha mane kaja paduka tara siravaja Krishnera matra chahiye santosha. Why does a woman continue to live who knows that Krishna's heart is unhappy, but who still shows her deep anger toward him? She is interested in her own happiness. I condemn such a woman to be struck on the head with a thunderbolt, for we simply want the happiness of Krishna. A devotee, purport, a devotee who is satisfied only with his own sense gratification certainly falls down from the service of Krishna, being attracted by material happiness. He later joins the Prakriti Sahajas, who are considered to be non-devotees. Ye gopi mora kare vese, Krishnera kare santose. Krishna yare kare abilasa. Mui tara gare yana, tare sevonda sehana. Tabe mora sukhera ulasa. If a gopi envious of me satisfies Krishna, and Krishna desires her, I shall not hesitate to go to her house and become her maidservant, for then my happiness will be awakened. Kushti viprera ramani, pativrata shiromani, patilagi, kaila vishyara seva, stambila suryera gati, jiyaila mritya pati, tusta kaila mukya tina deva. The wife of a Brahmana suffering from leprosy manifested herself as the topmost of all chaste women by serving a prostitute to satisfy her husband. She thus stopped the movement of the sun, brought her dead husband back to life, and satisfied the three principal demigods, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. Purport. The Aditya Purana, Markandeya Purana, and Padma Purana tell about a Brahmana who was suffering from leprosy but had a very chaste and faithful wife. He desired to enjoy the company of a prostitute, and therefore his wife went to her and became her maidservant, just to draw her attention for his service. When the prostitute agreed to associate with him, the wife brought her the leprotic husband. When that leper, the sinful son of a Brahmana, saw the chastity of his wife, he finally abandoned his sinful intentions. While coming home, however, he touched the body of Markandeya Rishi, who thus cursed him to die at sunrise. Because of her chastity, the woman was very powerful. Therefore, when she heard about the curse, she vowed to stop the sunrise. Because of her strong determination to serve her husband, the three deities, namely Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, were very happy, and they gave her the benediction of her husband, the benediction that her husband would be cured and brought back to life. The example is given herein to emphasize that a devotee should engage himself exclusively for the satisfaction of Krishna without personal motives. That will make his life successful. The name of this lady is called Shitala. She's one of the most famous women, along with Arundasi and Sita Devi, Yasoda Mai, of course Radharani, and Draupadi, Kunti. These are all the most famous women in the Vedic history. Arundhati, they're all of the caliber of Sitala. Huh? Savitri, yes. Yeah. Krishna is my life and soul. Krishna is the treasure of my life. Krishna mora jivana, Krishna mora pranadana, Krishna mora pranera parana. Hirdaya upare daron, seva kare sukhi karon, e mora sadarahi dhyana. See, what we should do, you should chant these mantras, and every 10 mantras we stop, have a little pravachan, and then chant again, just like in Bengal, right? And do kirtan also. This is very beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Krishna is my life and soul. Krishna is the treasure of my life. Indeed, Krishna is the very life of my life. I therefore keep him always in my heart and try to please him by rendering service. That is my constant meditation. Mora sukha sevane, Krishnera sukha sangame, ateva deha dena dana, Krishna more kantakari, kahe more paneshwari, more hayadasi abhimana. My happiness is in the service of Krishna, and Krishna's happiness is in union with me. For this reason, I give my body in charity to the lotus feet of Krishna, who accepts me as his loved one and calls me his most beloved. It is then that I consider myself his maidservant. Kanta seva sukha pura, sangame haite sumadura, tate shakshi lakshmi takurani, narayana hridi stiti, tabu pada sevayamati, seva kare dase abhimana. Service to my lover is the home of happiness and is more sweet than direct union with him. The goddess of fortune is evidence of this, for although she constantly lives on the heart of Narayana, she wants to render service to his lotus feet. She therefore considers herself a maidservant and serves him constantly. E Radhara Vachana Visuddha Prema Lakshana Asvadaye Shi Gaura Raya Bhave Mana Nahestira Satvike Vyape Sarira Mana Deha Dharanana Yaya. These statements by Srimati Radharani show the symptoms of pure love for Krishna tasted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In that ecstatic love, his mind was unsteady. Transformations of transcendental love spread throughout his entire body, and he could not sustain his body and mind. Rajera Visuddha Prema, Yena Jambu Nada Hema, Atma Sukhera Yahan Nahi Ganda, Se Prema Janate Loke, Prabhu Kaila E Sloke, Pade Kaila Artera Nirbanda. The pure devotional service in Vrindavan is like the golden particles in the river Jambu. In Vrindavana, there is not a trace of personal sense gratification. It is to advertise such pure love in this material world that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has written the previous verse and explained its meaning. The verse referred to here is text 47, the 8th verse of the Siksastaka. Aishlishiva Padaratam Pinastumam. E Mata Mahaprabhu Bhavavistahana Pralapa Karila Tat Tat Sloka Padya. Thus, overwhelmed by ecstatic love, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke like a madman and recited suitable verses. Purve asta sloka kari loke shiksha dila, se asta slokera artha apane asvadila. The Lord had formerly composed these 8 verses to teach people in general. Now he personally tasted the meaning of the verses which are called the Siksastaka. Prabhura Siksastaka Sloka Ye Pade Sune Krishna Prema Bhakti Tara Bhade Dine Dine. If anyone recites or hears these 8 verses of instruction by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his ecstatic love and devotion for Krishna increase day by day. Yadya Piha Prabhu Koti Samudra Gambira Nana Baba Chandrodaye Hayena Astira. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is as deep and grave as millions of oceans, when the moon of his various emotions rises, he becomes restless. Ye ye sloka Jayadeva Bhagavate Rayera Natake ye ara karnamrite se bhave sloka kariya patane se baba vese karena aswadane. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu read the verses of Jayadeva's Gita Govinda, of Srimad Bhagavatam, of Ramananda Raya's drama Jagannatha Vallabhanataka, and of Vilmavangala Thakura's Krishna Karnamrita, he was overwhelmed by the various ecstatic emotions of those verses. Thus he tasted their purports. Dwadasa Vatsara Aiche Dasa Ratri Dine Krishna Rasa Aswadaye Dui Bandhusane. For 12 years, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained in that state day and night. With his 2 friends, he tasted the meaning of those verses, which consists of nothing but the transcendental bliss and mellows of Krishna consciousness. Se sabalila rasa apane ananta, sahasra vadane varni nahi pana anta. Even Anantadeva, who has thousands of faces, could not reach the end of describing the transcendental bliss of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Jiva Shudra Buddhi kon taha pare varnite tara ekakana sparsi apana sodite. How then could an ordinary living being with very little intelligence describe such pastimes? Nevertheless, I am trying to touch but a particle of them just to rectify myself. Gaura Premanandi Haribo. Yata chesta yata palapa nahi paravara. Se sabavarnite granta haya suvistara. There's no limit to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities and his words of madness. Therefore, describing them all would greatly increase the size of this book. Vrindavana dasa partama ye lila varnila se sabalilara ami sutra matra kaila. Whatever pastimes Srila Vrindavana Das Thakura has first described, I have merely summarized. Tandra tyakta avasesas sankshepe kahila lilara bahulye granta tatapi badila. I have only very briefly described the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not described by Vrindavana Das Thakura. Nevertheless, because those transcendental pastimes are so numerous, the size of this book has increased. Ateva se sabalila na pari varni bare samapti karilun lilake kari namaskare. It is impossible to describe all the pastimes elaborately. I shall therefore end this description and offer them my respectful obeisances. Ye kichu kahilun e digdarsana darasana e anusare habe tara avadhana. What I have described gives merely an indication, but by following this indication, one may obtain a taste of all the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhura gambira lila na paribujhite buddhi pravesa nahitate na parivarnite. I cannot understand the very deep, meaningful pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. My intelligence cannot penetrate them, and therefore I could not properly describe them. Gaura Premanandi Haribol. Jai. So, this is what we should do today, right? You sing it in Bengali, and after like 10, 12 verses stop, I give a short explanation. Very nice. So, there are sequential advantages to chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And the first is Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Bhava Mahadavagni Namapanam. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. It means cleansing the heart of all unclean desires and thoughts acquired over many lifetimes in different bodies in the material world, preoccupied by eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. These are animalistic tendencies that have corrupted our heart and mind. The heart is the seat of emotions and yearnings. Sensual pleasures are experienced in the subtle mind, which receives all the impressions of the other five senses. The mind is compared to a dusty and dirty mirror, which reflects unclean images experienced by the material senses. When a person tries to understand spiritual knowledge, the unclean mirror of the mind cannot reflect the advice clearly, making it very difficult to understand. The layers of dust covering the mirror of the mind are the innumerable lusty desires of this mundane world. As stated above, the Vedic social system, Varnashrama Dharma, which prescribes many purifying ritual performances, is meant for gradual purification of the mind and heart. However, the initial effect of chanting Hare Krishna progressively accomplishes this arduous task quickly and easily if performed in the company of sincere and rightfully situated devotees and teachers. It is said, Krishna Bhakti Niskarna Ateva Santa, Bhukti Mukti Siddhikami Sakali Asanta. Because a devotee of Lord Krishna is desireless, he is peaceful. Fruitive workers desire material enjoyment. Jnanis desire liberation, and yogis desire material opulence. Therefore, they are all lusty and cannot be peaceful. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, 1949. The unique desire of a pure devotee is to serve Lord Krishna life after life without even asking for liberation. Others, like fruitive strivers, self-interested karma yogis, desire increased enjoyment of sensual pleasures. The jnanis seek Vedic knowledge and renunciation by which they may merge into the eternal existence of the Brahma Jyoti, impersonal effulgence emanating from the Lord. The mystic yogis, through great sacrifice, acquire yoga siddhis, mystical powers, and amazing material opulence. All these non-devotees are self-interested because they desire something. They never attain real peace. The karmis, jnanis, and yogis experience temporary fulfillment of their desires and an unending upsurge of more desires because they achieve personal goals without genuine attainment of love for Lord Krishna. Only the pure devotees are niskama, without desire for personal gain. They are fully satisfied by service and love for the Lord. Real desirelessness is desire to satisfy or please Lord Krishna. Detachment from matter and attachment to Krishna are one and the same. The satisfaction experienced by serving the Lord protects the devotee from a fall down. The devotee is convinced that the Lord is the supreme enjoyer and beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities. The purpose of these is to attain the steady devotional service of the Lord, who is the proprietor of all the material worlds, and the Krishna is the best friend, who is the benefactor of all living entities. Realizing these three essential truths, the devotee becomes desireless, niskama, and feels unadulterated peace, and he offers the result of all activities to the Lord. The psychological basis of the devotee's uninterrupted peacefulness is the assurance Krishna gives that he will always remain his friend and protector. The Lord gives his unflinching promise, Kuntiya pratijanihi name bhakta pranasyati. O son of Kunti, Arjuna declared boldly that my devotee never perishes, Bhagavad Gita 9:31. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada writes, since Krishna gives this assurance, the devotee lives in Krishna and has no desire for personal benefit. The background for the devotee is the all-good himself, Lord Krishna. Why should the devotee aspire for something good for himself? His only business is to please the Supreme by rendering as much service as possible. A Krishna Bhakta has no desire for his own personal benefit. He is completely protected by the Supreme Lord. Avaisya rakshibe Krishna Vishwasa Palana. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that he is desireless because Krishna will give him protection in all circumstances. It is not that he expects any assistance from Krishna. He simply depends on Krishna just as a child depends on his parents. The child does not know how to expect service from his parents, but he is always protected nevertheless. This is called niskama, desirelessness. 2. Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. This means stopping the blazing fire of material existence. Lust for sense gratification is the all-devouring enemy of the soul. It evolves by contact with the material modes of nature, of passion, and if frustrated, it becomes destructive anger in the mode of ignorance. The pure consciousness of the living entity is covered by this eternal enemy, lust, which is never satisfied because it burns like fire. Lust cannot be satisfied by sense enjoyment, and similarly, fire cannot be satisfied by fueling it. The association of unholy persons who glibly engage in sinful activities like meat eating, illicit sex, gambling, and intoxication will corrupt the mind with the flames of lust. Lord Buddha has said, all that is burning, the eye is burning, forms are burning, eye consciousness is burning, eye contact is burning, and whatever feeling arises with eye contact as a condition, whether pleasant or painful, or neither painful nor pleasant, that too is burning. Burning with what? Burning with the fire of lust and the fire of hatred, with the fire of delusion, and with sorrow, lamentation, pain, displeasure, and despair. I say, most important in spirit's life is learning to transfer attachment from material things to self-realized devotees, sadhus. Prasangam ajaram pasam atmanam kavayo vidu sa eva sadhusu krito moksha avaram apavritam. Every learned man knows very well that attachment from the material is the greatest entanglement of the spirit soul. But that same attachment, when applied to the self-realized devotees, opens the door of liberation. Srimad Bhagavatam 3:25-20. In the association of devotees, one gradually accepts the principles of Krishna consciousness, and thereby the ignorance engendered by contact with the material world is dispelled. By purification of the heart, the mind, the devotee is freed from material conception of life. He reorients his thinking from bodily concerns for comfort and sense gratification to the spiritual quest to free himself from the cycle of birth and death. As long as one focuses on mundane considerations, he is obliged to stay in the prison of the material world. The real purpose of human life is to cleanse the heart of all doubts and misgivings about spiritual life and engage wholeheartedly in re-establishing one's eternal relationship with Lord Krishna. This amazing transformation takes place simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and continually associating with Krishna devotees. The great blessing that one experiences is gradual freedom from material miseries. The Lord confirms, Idam tu te guyatamam pravaksyam yanasrive, yanam vigyanam sayitam yajgadva moksyasi subat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you the most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence. Bhagavad Gita 9:1. By hearing the discourses of devotees about Krishna, one becomes enlightened. Satam prasangam mama virya samido bhavanti hitkarna rasayana kata tat joshanaj asva pavarga vartamani shadaratir bhaktir anukramishyati. In the association of pure devotees, discussion of the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is freed and his attraction becomes fixed. Then real devotion and devotional service begins. Srimad Bhagavatam 3:25-25. The process of advancing in Krishna consciousness and devotional service is described here. The first point is that one must seek the association of persons who are Krishna conscious and who engage in devotional service. Without such association, one cannot make advancement. Simply by theoretical knowledge or study, one cannot make any appreciable advancement. One must give up the association of materialistic persons who seek the association of devotees, because without the association of devotees, one cannot understand the activities of the Lord. Generally, people are convinced of the impersonal feature of the Absolute Truth. Because they do not associate with devotees, they cannot understand that the Absolute Truth can be a person and have personal activities. This is a very difficult subject matter. And unless one has personal understanding of the Absolute Truth, there's no meaning to devotion. Service or devotion cannot be offered to anything impersonal. Service must be offered to a person. Non-devotees cannot appreciate Krishna consciousness by reading the Srimad Bhagavatam or any other Vedic literature wherein the activities of the Lord are described. They think that these activities are fictional, manufactured stories, because spiritual life is not explained to them in the proper mood. To understand the personal activities of the Lord, one has to seek the association of devotees, and by such association, when one contemplates and tries to understand the transcendental activities of the Lord, one has to seek the path to liberation is open and he is freed. One who has firm faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes fixed, and his attraction for association with the Lord and the devotees increases. Association with devotees means association with the Lord. The devotee who makes this association develops the consciousness for rendering service to the Lord, and then being situated in the transcendental position of devotional service, he gradually becomes perfect. Number 3, Shreya Kairavar Chandrika Vitaranam means the devotee's life becomes completely auspicious. The holy name of Lord Krishna is compared to the soothing rays of the moon that nourishes all the vegetables to grow and taste succulent. Bhagavad Gita 15:12. Due to the pleasing effect of the moonshine, please come to understand that due to the pleasing effect of the moonshine, please come to understand that they are living by the mercy of Lord Krishna. Everything becomes tasty by the Lord's mercy that is felt through the influence of the moon. The devotee's life becomes auspicious by Krishna's holy name compared to the moon, and his good fortune is further amplified by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, which is compared to the moonshine. When the merciful moonshine of the Vaishnava's blessing touches the heart of the devotee, he develops all good qualities, such as humility, tolerance, and enthusiasm for chanting, remembering Lord Krishna, and serving the Vaishnavas. He eagerly approaches the Vaishnavas to hear their discourses and asks questions, as Arjuna and Maharaj Parikshit did. These 26 qualities follow. Kripalo akrita droha satyasara sama nidosa vadanya mridu suchi akinchana pakaraka santa krishnaika sarano akama aniha stira vijita sadguna mita bhuk apramata manada amani gambira karuna maitra kavidaksha moni. Devotees are always merciful, humble, truthful, equal to all, faultless, magnanimous, mild, and clean. They are without material possessions, and they perform welfare work for everyone. They are peaceful, surrendered to Krishna, and desireless. They are indifferent to material acquisitions and are fixed in devotional service. They completely control the 6 bad qualities: lust, anger, greed, and so forth. They eat only as much as required, and they are not inebriated. Or intoxicated. They are respectful, grave, compassionate, and without false prestige. They are friendly, poetic, expert, and silent. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 22:78-80. These are the 26 qualities of a devotee explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita. These qualities will appear by the mercy of Krishna and by chanting his holy names while performing pure acts of devotion. Lord Krishna stresses this point. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavat yakinchana sarva gunas tatra samasate sura harava bhaktasya kuto mahaguna manoratanasati dhavato bayi. All the demigods and their exalted qualities, such as religion, knowledge and renunciation become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. Even if he is adept at the practice of mystic yoga or the honest endeavor of maintaining his family and relatives, he must be driven by his own endeavor of maintaining his family and relatives. He must be driven by his own mental speculations and must engage in the service of the Lord's external energy. How can there be any good qualities in such a man? Srimad Bhagavatam 5:18-12. Such a pure devotee is free from all material contamination and attains the transcendental state of happiness and steady intelligence. Karmanya karma ya pasyat akarmana cha karmana ya. Sa buddhimam manusyesu sa yukta Krishna karma krit. One who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is intelligent among men, and he is in a transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities. Bhagavad Gita 4:28. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada further explains, a person acting in Krishna consciousness is naturally free from the bonds of karma. His activities are all performed for Krishna, therefore he does not enjoy or suffer any of the effects of work. Consequently, he is intelligent in human society, even though he is engaged in all sorts of activities for Krishna. Akarma means without reaction to work. The impersonalist ceases fruitive activities out of fear, so that the resultant action may not be a stumbling block on the path of self-realization. But the personalist knows rightly his position as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, he engages himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness. Because everything is done for Krishna, he enjoys only transcendental happiness in the discharge of his service. Those who are engaged in this process are known to be without desire for personal sense gratification. The sense of eternal servitorship to Krishna makes one immune to all reactionary elements of work. Bhagavad Gita 4:18, purport. Point 4. Vidyavadu jivanam means the devotee becomes filled with transcendental knowledge. The real process of knowledge is explained by Lord Krishna, who enumerates 20 qualities that a properly educated person will manifest. Anything besides these 20 is considered ignorance. Humility, pridelessness, nonviolence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadfastness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from the entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotional service to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization, and the philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides these, whatever there may be is ignorance. Bhagavad Gita 13:8-12. The culmination of all spiritual knowledge is engagement and unalloyed devotional service to Lord Krishna. The crucial initial step is to accept a bona fide spiritual master. There are 3 types of spiritual masters. A Vartma Pradakshika Guru, the person who first introduces you to Krishna consciousness. Shiksha Guru is the person or persons who give ongoing significant spiritual instructions that inspire and enlighten. And Diksha Guru is the person who initiates the disciple and encourages him by his personal example and instructions to always follow the vows of initiation. Thus, the exceptional 20 qualities of real knowledge are manifest in a sincere devotee naturally by continual and uninterrupted performance of devotional service. Modern humanistic education is actually ignorance because it simply accentuates the striving for material happiness by eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Materialistic persons live only for these 4 activities that are characteristic of animals. The animals accomplish these 4 tasks without too much fanfare, but the humans glorify these base activities as if they are the goal of life. This is abject ignorance, and it violates the purpose of human life. People who imitate the animals take their next birth in lower species of life because they have ignored the purpose of human life. Persons preoccupied with material life have very little inclination to glorify the Lord. If they engage in religious ceremonies, it is only to improve their material enjoyment, wealth, health, peace of mind, or protect their assets. This is summarized as the pursuit of gain and safety. There is little or no genuine feeling of love of God. Therefore, devotees engage in a difficult task of approaching even the most fallen persons in this world to give them a chance to hear about Krishna. These saints act as instruments of the Lord's causeless mercy to the fallen souls. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has given two profound insights about the sacrifice of pure devotees to spread the glories of Lord Krishna. A devotee of Krishna is friendly to everyone. Therefore, it is said here that he has no enemy, nirvaira. How is this? A devotee situated in Krishna consciousness knows that only devotional service to Krishna can relieve a person from all the problems of life. He has personal experience of this, and therefore he wants to introduce this system, Krishna consciousness, into human society. There are many examples in the history of devotees of the Lord who risked their lives for the spreading of God consciousness. The favorable example is Lord Jesus Christ. He was crucified by the non-devotees, but he sacrificed his life for spreading God consciousness. Of course, it would be superficial to understand that he was killed. Similarly, in India, also there are many examples, such as Thakur Haridas and Prahlad Maharaj. Why such risk? Because they wanted to spread Krishna consciousness. And it is difficult. A Krishna conscious person knows that if a person is suffering, it is due to his forgetfulness of his eternal relationship with Krishna. Therefore, the highest benefit one can render to human society is relieving one's neighbor from all material problems. In such a way, a pure devotee is engaged in the service of the Lord. Now we can imagine how merciful Krishna is to those engaged in his service, risking everything for him. Therefore, it is certain that such persons must reach the supreme planet after leaving the body. Bhagavad Gita 11:55, purport. In the 67th verse of this chapter, the Lord explicitly forbade the Gita's being spoken to those who are envious of the Lord. In other words, Bhagavad Gita is for the devotees only. But it so happens that sometimes a devotee of the Lord will hold open class, and in that class, not all the students are expected to be devotees. Why do such devotees hold open class? It is explained here that although not everyone is a devotee, still there are many men who are not envious of Krishna. They have faith in him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If such a person hears from a bona fide devotee about the Lord, the result is that they become at once freed from all sinful reactions, and after that attain to the planetary system where all righteous persons are situated. Therefore, simply by hearing Bhagavad Gita, even a person who does not try to be a pure devotee attains the result of righteous activities. Thus, a pure devotee of the Lord gives everyone a chance to become free from all sinful reactions and to become a devotee of the Lord. Bhagavad Gita 1871, purport. By the mercy of pure devotees, many people receive the causeless blessing of transcendental knowledge. Therefore, pure devotees focus on explaining the utmost importance of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in this age of Kali, the age of hypocrisy and quarrel. The names of Krishna are transcendental and pure. They are non-different than the Lord himself. This is confirmed in the Padma Purana and also quoted in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 17:133. Namachintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purnak Sudha Nitya Mukto Vinadvam Namanamine. The holy name of Krishna is transcendentally blissful. It bestows all spiritual benedictions, for it is Krishna himself, the reservoir of all pleasure. Krishna's name is complete and is the form of transcendental mellows. It is not a material name under any condition, and it is no less powerful than Krishna himself. Since Krishna's name is not contaminated by the material qualities, there's no question of it being involved with Maya. Krishna's name is always liberated and spiritual. It is never conditioned by the laws of material nature. This is because the name of Krishna and Krishna himself are identical. Padma Purana. More evidence from the Upanishads validate the absolute necessity to chant the holy mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, to overcome all the negative effects of this present age that are stumbling blocks on the path of knowledge and spiritual realization. The Hare Krishna mantra is specifically mentioned in many Upanishads, such as the Kali Santarana Upanishad, where it is said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Iti Sodasakam Nam Kali Kalmasanasanam, Nata Paraturopaya Sarvavedesa Drishyate. The 16 words of the Hare Krishna mantra are especially meant for counteracting the sins of the age of Kali. To save oneself from the contamination of this age, there is no other alternative but to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. After searching through all the Vedic literature, one cannot find a method of religion more sublime for this age than the chanting of Hare Krishna. The Upanishads are considered the highest authoritative Vedic scriptures by academic scholars of the Vedas. They should not ignore the explicit statement of the above verse that unequivocally advocates the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in this present age. Lord Chaitanya, the most recent incarnation, avatar of Lord Krishna, stressed the importance of chanting Hare Krishna by quoting a verse from the Brihad Naradiya Purana. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, 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 Gatiranyata. For spiritual progress in this age of Kali, there is no alternative. There is no alternative. There is no alternative to the holy name, the holy name, the holy name of the Lord. Quoted from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 776. Lord Chaitanya also quoted the following verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam that establishes the preeminent importance of the Hare Krishna mantra for the deliverance of people in this age. Krishna Varnam Krishnam Sangapangashta Parsadam Yajnai Sankirtana Parer Yajante Mam Sudmedasaha. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32. The sacrifice, yajna, of Sankirtan, the congregational chanting of the names of Krishna in public, was performed by Lord Chaitanya and his devotees for the salvation of all people today. Lord Chaitanya promulgated the glories of chanting Hare Krishna 500 years ago. By his mercy, it has spread all over the world today. This is the most benevolent blessing of Lord Krishna to the beleaguered living entities in this world. Simply by chanting the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, one can attain the highest perfection of human life, eternal existence in the spiritual world called Vaikuntha, the abode where there is no anxiety. The cream of all Vedic literature is called the Srimad Bhagavatam, written by Vedavyas, the author of all the Vedas, contains the following two verses that conclusively establish the supreme benefit of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Kale dosa nide rajanastihi eka mahadguna kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sangas param braja. My dear king, although Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. Srimad Bhagavatam 12:51. Nama Sankirtana Yasya Sarva Papa Pranasanam Pranama Dukkha Samanas Tam Namami Harim Param. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Lord Hari, the congregational chanting of whose holy names destroys all sinful reactions, and the offering of obeisance unto whom relieves all material suffering. Srimad Bhagavatam 12:13-51. There are many different sacrifices, yajnas, recommended in the Vedas. 1. Sacrifice of hearing. Sacrifice of the hearing process and the senses in the fire of mental control. Hearing is the best way to assimilate Vedic knowledge. It is recommended by Vedic authorities to engage always in hearing and chanting the glories of Lord Krishna, especially the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and refrain from hearing mundane topics. At the same time, bring the senses under control by limiting sense gratification according to the Vedic rules and regulations for spiritual life. 2. Control the mind and senses by following the Patanjali yoga system, by controlling the functions of the body's air, and withdrawing the senses from all external sense perceptions and activities. So these are different types of yagyas one can perform, recommended in the Vedas. 3, sacrifice of material possessions. 4, sacrifice by performing severe austerities. 5, sacrifice by practice of the eightfold mystic yoga. 6, sacrifice by study of the Vedas to attain transcendental knowledge. 7, sacrifice of breath restraint to remain in trance by stopping the breathing and eating. This is called pranayama yoga. Sense gratification is the root cause of material existence. The aim of all the above types of sacrifice is to control the senses, and especially the mind, to reorient one's life from sense gratification to the pursuit of self-realization. This is essential for development of intelligence to comprehend higher order material and spiritual knowledge. Lord Krishna confirms, Tani sarvani samyanya yukta asita mat pranam vasehi yasyanindriyani tasya pragna pratistita. One who restrains his senses, keeping them under full control, and fixes his consciousness upon me is known as a man of steady intelligence. Bhagavad Gita 261. With good intelligence, one can understand that the goal of life is not sense gratification, which only brings frustration and death. The real goal of life is achieved by devotional service, by which one attains knowledge of the self and his eternal relationship with Lord Krishna. Krishna describes the profound understanding, which is the fruit of devotional service. Nahi jnanena sadrasam pavitram iha vidyate tatsvayam yogasam siddha kalinatmani vindati. In this world, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism, and one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time. Lord Krishna, as the super soul in the heart, reveals transcendental knowledge to the devotee. The devotee then experiences spiritual peace by virtue of the conviction that simply by engagement in Krishna consciousness one can achieve the pinnacle of human perfection, pure love of Lord Krishna, and eternal association with the Lord and his eternal associates. Such a faithful and dedicated devotee's heart is cleansed of material desires and mundane attachments due to his unalloyed dedication to serving the Lord. In this state of pure love and devotion, he is protected by the Lord's mercy. Krishna confirms, Yoga sanyasta karmanam jnana sanchina samsayam atmavantam nakarmani nibandananti dhananjaya. One who acts in devotional service, renouncing the fruits of his action, and whose doubts have been destroyed by transcendental knowledge, is situated factually in the self. Thus he is not bound by the reactions of work, O conqueror of riches. Bhagavad Gita 4:41. Spiritual or transcendental knowledge frees one from all reactions, good or bad, of material activities, karma. The devotee becomes progressively free to engage without doubt, anxiety, or hesitation in Krishna's devotional service. The most formidable enemy and destroyer of spiritual knowledge and self-realization is lust for sensual pleasures and its concomitant factors of profit, distinction, and adoration. Lord Krishna explains that the sitting places of this lust are the senses, the mind, and the intelligence. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada writes, mind is the center of all the activities of the senses, and thus when we hear about sense objects, the mind generally becomes a reservoir of all ideas of sense gratification, and as a result, the mind and the senses become the repositories of lust. Next, the intelligence department becomes the capital of such lustful propensities. Intelligence is the immediate next-door neighbor of the spirit soul. Lusty intelligence influences the spirit soul to acquire the false ego and identify itself with matter, and thus with the mind and senses. The spirit soul becomes addicted to enjoying the material senses and mistakes this as true happiness. Srimad Bhagavad Gita 3:40 purport. The only way to control lust is by regulating the activities of the senses. This requires a lifestyle change by which eating, sleeping, mating, and defending are regulated according to spiritual principles of austerity, cleanliness, truthfulness, and mercy. This lifestyle actually helps one attain peace and happiness. There are 8 principles. 4 things to do every day. Chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra at least 16 rounds of 108 beads. Eat only sanctified vegetarian food, prasadam, offered to the Lord Krishna. Attend lectures by bona fide devotees and read Bhagavad Gita with them. Regularly perform devotional service in the temple with devotees. 4 things to avoid: no meat eating or flesh of any kind, no intoxication including coffee and tea, no gambling or philosophical speculation, no illicit sex outside of marriage, and only sex in marriage for procreation. If one accepts these rules and regulations and associates with devotees, he or she will quickly make spiritual progress and become free of all miseries, anxieties, and fears. The knowledge Krishna delivers in the Bhagavad Gita becomes revealed and comprehensible to the sincere devotee who adopts the lifestyle changes enumerated above. Material lust is transformed into pure love for Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna and following the rules and regulations. Bhaktivedanta Swami explains, lust is only the perverted reflection of the love of God, which is natural for every living entity. But if one is educated in Krishna consciousness from the very beginning, that natural love of God cannot deteriorate into lust. When love of God deteriorates into lust, it is very difficult to return to the normal condition. Nonetheless, Krishna consciousness is so powerful that even a late beginner can become a lover of God by following the regulative principles of devotional service. So, from any stage of life, or from the time of undertaking its urgency, one can begin regulating the senses in Krishna consciousness, devotional service of the Lord, and turn the lust into love of Godhead, the highest perfectional stage of human life. Srimad Bhagavad Gita 3:41 purport. By practice of Krishna consciousness, one can actually turn lust into love, but it is not done by a continual engagement in lusty behavior, thinking that one will eventually become disgusted with it and give it up to seek real love. A person who has always lived in the darkness, has no idea of what is the experience of living in light. Lord Krishna and his pure devotees are able to dissipate the darkness of ignorance by the regulated practice of Krishna consciousness. The Lord says, Tesam ivanukam partam aham agyananam tama nasyami atmabhavasto jnanadipena basvato. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling within the heart, light up with the lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Lord Krishna is the Paramatma Lord Krishna as the Paramatma is dwelling in the heart of every living entity. When he sees that a devotee is interested in regularly hearing about him and serving him with love and devotion, he blesses the devotee with transcendental knowledge, and he protects him to continually engage in hearing, chanting, and serving. This mystical reciprocation takes place because of the devotee's affinity to hear holy scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, etc., and chant the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada states, man can go on speculating for several millions of years, and if he is not devoted, if he is not a lover of the Supreme Truth, he will never understand Krishna or the Supreme Truth. Only by devotional service is the Supreme Truth, Krishna, pleased, and by his inconceivable energy, he can reveal himself to the heart of the pure devotee. The pure devotee always has Krishna within his heart, and with the presence of Krishna, who is just like the sun, the darkness of ignorance is at once dissipated. This is the special mercy rendered to the pure devotee by Krishna. Bhagavad Gita 10:11. There is a mystical spiritual relationship that develops between the devotee and the Lord that only the devotees can understand. The devotee who demonstrates an unwavering determination to serve with humility and honesty can be understood to have reached such a stage of devotional service. In spite of all difficulties and obstacles, the pure devotee continues service without hesitation, fear, or doubt. And Lord Krishna describes such a devotee. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Mayevesha Manaye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shradaya Pariyopetas Te Me Yukta Tama Mata. The Supreme Personality Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshiping me with great transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. Bhagavad Gita 12:2. fixing the consciousness on the original form of Lord Krishna as the chariot driver of Arjuna, or Sham Sundara with the threefold bending form holding the flute, the beloved of the gopis, is the ultimate goal of meditation. The devotee makes the Lord's loving service with faith and dedication his daily worship. For the devotee, there are no longer any material activities because his every act is performed for the pleasure of Krishna. His constant engagement in devotional service frees him from all material influences. This leads to mature and unflinching love for the Lord. Savai pumsa paro dharmo yato bhakti rahuksajaya haituki pratihata yayat masu prasidati. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam 126. This is the perfection of human intelligence, knowledge, and destiny. Point number 5. Anandam Buddhivardhanam. The ocean of transcendental bliss increases. The chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra connects one to the eternally blissful spiritual world and elevates one to the pure love of Lord Krishna. By getting the higher taste of love and ever-increasing bliss, the devotee becomes fixed in his vow to eternally serve the Lord. A description of the devotee who has reached this stage of love is given. Evam rata swa priya nama kirtya jatanurago drutya chitta uchai hasatyato roditi roti gayati unmadavan rityati lokabhaya. By chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord, one comes to the stage of love of Godhead. Then the devotee is fixed in his vow as an eternal servant of the Lord, and he gradually becomes very much attached to a particular name and form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As his heart melts with ecstatic love, he laughs very loudly or cries or shouts. Sometimes he sings and dances like a madman, for he is indifferent to public opinion. The result of regular chanting without committing any offenses is the awakening of love for Krishna, tasting transcendental bliss, attaining the association of Krishna's associates who engage the devotee in constant service. Eventually, the devotee serves the Lord's feet, the lotus feet of the Lord, and immerses himself in a great ocean of love. Antya-lila 20:14. The devotee is carried away by ecstasy when he chants and hears the holy names of Krishna. He becomes almost like a madman, not caring for any outward social conventions. His heart melts with the love for the Lord, and at times he laughs, weeps, cries, sings, and dances, and forgets himself. These are indications of that the devotee is intoxicated in devotional service. Another name for this state of consciousness is called Atmarama, wherein the devotee is liberated from all material contamination, completely satisfied by dint of devotional service, and is enamored by the pastimes of Lord Krishna. The Lord bestows his mercy on the devotee in recognition of his advanced devotional service. This state is the zenith of perfection due to the devotee being immersed in pure love for the Lord. Excuse me. Point 6. Purnamritasvadanam. The devotee tastes the nectar of Krishna consciousness at every step. His life becomes totally blissful. The vision of a pure devotee evolves so that he never loses sight of Lord Krishna. And reciprocally, the Lord never disappears from the sight of the devotee. The devotee sees everything in existence as related to Krishna. This is spiritual vision. When one knows theoretically and practically through spiritual knowledge that nothing exists without a relationship to Lord Krishna. Everything is made of matter and spirit, or soul, and Krishna is present as the super soul in every atom of the universe and also in the heart of every living entity. This universal vision of Krishna's presence develops naturally in the sincere devotee. It is confirmed by Lord Krishna. Yomam pasyati sarvatra sarvam chalamai pasyati tasyaham na pranasyami sachame na pranasyati. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. Bhagavad Gita 6:30. Krishna is accepted as the supreme proprietor of everything and the cause of all causes. Nothing can exist independent of the Lord who creates, maintains, and reabsorbs everything at annihilation. All things, material and spiritual, are made of his energies. With such vision, which develops from continual devotional service with love and devotion, the devotee enters into an intimate personal relationship with Krishna. This state of transcendental living, a loving consciousness, was described by Lord Chaitanya. My dear Lord, O Master of the Universe, since I have directly seen you, my transcendental bliss has taken the shape of a great ocean. Thus, I regard happiness derived from the understanding of impersonal Brahman to be like the water contained in a calf's hoof print. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 2437. The devotee remains staunchly engaged in devotional service, and he is completely content, relishing the transcendental bliss of serving the Lord. Krishna has all attractive features which transfix the mind of the devotee on the beautiful vision of the Lord. Thus he tastes the nectar of Krishna consciousness at every moment. Lord Brahma says, I worship the primeval Lord, Govinda, who is always seen by the devotee, whose eyes are anointed with the pulp of love. He is seen in his eternal form of Sham Sundara, situated within the heart of the devotee. Brahma Samhita 538. When the mind of the devotee is cleansed of all misconceptions, doubts, anxieties, misgivings, misguided desires for sense gratification, etc., the devotee becomes liberated to serve the Lord and taste genuine happiness. The following explanation describes this joyful freedom. After attainment of the Brahmabhuta stage of freedom from material conceptions, devotional service begins by one's hearing about the Lord. When one hears about the Supreme Lord, automatically the Brahmabhuta stage develops, and material contamination, greediness, and lust for sense enjoyment disappears. As lust and desires disappear from the heart of a devotee, he becomes more attached to the service of the Lord, and by such attachment he becomes free from material contamination. In that state of life, he can understand the Supreme Lord. This is the statement of Srimad Bhagavatam also. After liberation, the process of bhakti or transcendental service continues. The Vedanta Sutra 4.1.12 confirms this. Prayanat tatrapihi dristam. This means that after liberation, the process of devotional service continues. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, real devotional liberation is defined as the reinstatement of the living entity in his own identity, his own constitutional position. The constitutional position is already explained for every living entity in partial. I'll correct that. The constitutional position is already explained. Every living entity is a part and parcel, fragmental portion of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, his constitutional position is to serve. After liberation, his service is never stopped. Actual liberation is getting free from the misconceptions of life. Bhagavad Gita 1855. When situated in his constitutional position as the eternal servant of the Lord, or Lord Krishna, the devotee experiences the natural joy of spiritual life confirmed by the Vedanta Sutra 1.1.12, Anandamaya Abhyasat. This is the natural transcendental pleasure the soul experiences in contact with Lord Krishna, who is the reservoir of unlimited auspicious qualities and is full of blissful joyfulness. Lord Krishna validates this transcendental consciousness that is easily attained by the sincere devotee. Bhagavad Gita 6:20-23. Yatro para mate chitam nirudam yoga sevaya. Yatra chavatmana atmanam pasyanatmani tusyati. In the stage of perfection called trance or samadhi, one's mind is completely restrained from material mental activities by practice of yoga. This perfection is characterized by one's ability to see the self by the pure mind and to relish and rejoice in the self. Sukham aityantikam yatad buddhigrayam atindriya veti achanachayavayam stitas chalati tatvataha. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness. Realized through transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from the truth, and upon gaining this, he thinks there's no greater gain. Yam ladva chaparam labam manyate nadikam tata yasmin stito nadukena gurunapi vichalyate tam vidyad dukasam yoga viyogam yogasam gitam. Being situated in such a position, one is never shaken even in the midst of greatest difficulty. This indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from material contact. The ability to see the self by the pure mind means the devotee actually sees the presence of Lord Krishna in his heart by pure meditation of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and engaging in devotional service by which all material desires are replaced by pure desires to serve the Lord with ever-increasing enthusiasm and faith. The Lord progressively reveals himself to the devotee, who becomes enamored by the vision of the Lord accompanying him. The individual Jivatma soul, referred to as the self with a small s, becomes consciously aware of the supreme self, spelled with a capital S, present in his heart as the benevolent witness, overseer, permitter, and supreme proprietor. The supersoul, or Lord Krishna, is always with the individual soul, the living entity. They are both intimately related as friends. This fact overwhelms the living entity with joy and love. Point 7. Sarvat Masnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. All glories to the Sankirtan movement, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Sankirtan, the Sankirtan movement, the congregational chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, was specifically brought into this world by Lord Chaitanya, the most recent incarnation of God in the 15th century. Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana. The treasure of love of God has descended from the spiritual world of Goloka, Vrindavana, appearing in this world as the Sankirtan movement of the chanting of Lord Hari's or Krishna's holy names. Prarthana prayers of Narottam Das Thakur. The chanting of Hare Krishna is the Yuga Dharma, the recommended means to attain love of God and complete liberation by constant engagement in devotional service to the Lord. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam as follows, with special reference to Sankirtan Yagya. Krishna Varnam Trisak Krishna Sangapangashta Parsadam Yajnai Sankirtana Parar Yajante Hi Sumedasaha. In the age of Kali, people who are endowed with sufficient intelligence will worship the Lord, who is accompanied by his associates by performance of Sankirtan Yagya. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity because one can easily attain unalloyed devotion to the Lord. All purposes attained by practicing austerities, penances, mystic yoga can easily be achieved by the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, which purifies all sinful reactions and the desire to sin. This is because Krishna and his holy name are not non-different. The result of constant chanting is that one can see the Lord's presence always, and this brings one to the stage of Anandamaya Vyasat. Realization of the all-blissful spiritual nature in the association of Lord Krishna and his transcendental devotees. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Gaura Purnima, Haribol, Haribol. I wrote this. It's a small part of a book. Right. Gaura Premanandi.
So, what you have to read this evening?
Well, there's several things. This was really good, though. The Siksastakam. It's the last chapter of the Chaitanya Charita. You can chant like 12 mantras, then chant Hare Krishna.
You have the Bengali one?
Yeah, it's a Bengali.
Where?
No, wait. This is it. Oh, I have the Bengali.
Yeah.
I'll give you the Bengali.
Are you going to print this, Puja?
What?
You're going to print this?
This?
Yeah.
This is a book.
It's going to be printed
Yeah. Next week.
next week?
Yeah.
It's not ready yet? It's very nice.
This is just one part. It's called the fourth dimension. So to begin to understand what the fourth dimension is, you have to understand the sixth dimension. It's the entry point.
The book name is called Fourth Dimension?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fourth dimension means everything's eternal and infinite.
Yeah.
It's unending.
Beyond time and space.
Yeah, but this is the way to enter it.
Oh, very good.
You enter it through Anandamaya Vyasat.
So that the consequence of step-by-step consequence of chanting the Hare Krishna from the six Ashtakam you said.
Yeah.
So that's very nice actually.
Yeah.
How many? 6 points, right? How many?
7.
7.
Yeah.
7 points.
Yeah. So I added a lot of stuff to
Yeah.
each one.
Okay.
And
That is actually Prabhupada had given that 7 things.
Well, if you read Civilization,
Okay.
there's one of his school
Beyond
books.
beyond civilization and transcendence.
No, it's another one. I'll show you. I have it. No, here it is. And there he
explains this?
Goes through the 7, but
But
this
it's
is a lot
not-
more elaborate.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
I've read that several times and I always
Civilization and transcendence. That's the book.
I think that's it. 1 second. I have it here.
So you brought a lot of reference from Prabhupada itself, from the
Yes, exactly.
Very nice. Prabhuji, book when you're printing, Prabhuji,
Yeah.
this format is what our existing thing. It's not good. Prabhuji. We
I
have-
know, it's not good.
We have to invest a little bit more money
Yeah.
and make it professional, then only people will read.
I'm going to do that.
So we need to format it and publish it.
I'm going to do a larger book or that puts together a lot of these books. This is it.
Yeah, civilization,
So he
transcendence.
goes through those 7 points
Okay.
near the end,
Okay.
middle end.
Okay.